Hey skaters, welcome back to the Moxi Skates YouTube channel. And we are finally here, the final last episode. That doesn't make any sense. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Welcome to the Streets with Goolie on the Moxi Skates YouTube channel. Well, we finally did it. We're at the last episode, so thanks for sticking with it and watching this series all the way through, I hope. So in this episode, it's gonna be a little bit different than some of the past episodes. Before we did tutorials, we went over kind of some basics to get you into the street obstacles at skate parks. But today, it's finally summer here in Illinois, and I'm gonna be taking you around one of my favorite cities to skate and show you some of the skate spots that I have skated, or some that are definitely skatable, and kind of show you what to be looking out for when you're out in the actual streets looking for street obstacles. There's a few things to be looking out for when you're trying to find an obstacle to skate. And it's always going to be different than skating at the park. So stay tuned with this episode and you'll learn a lot more about real street skating. So as I said, this episode is going to be a bit different than the other ones. It's going to be a little bit more vloggy style because we're going to be moving from spot to spot, and I'm going to be kind of talking as we're skating around, and I'm going to be pointing things out and explaining what I'm looking at. And we're going to start with the spot that I'm sitting at right now, or what's behind Carl. So let's go check it out. This spot here is a gap. And we have two different versions of it right side by side, which is very convenient because you could choose the one that you want to do depending on what you feel comfortable doing or what you want the aesthetic to look like. And we've already gone over how to do some gaps, how to do some rotations over gaps. So when I get to a spot like this, I like to look at it from the top, I like to look at it from the bottom, I like to look at what my run-up is. And what I mean by run-up is what the surface or the ground looks like skating up to the obstacle, because if it's really chunky or there's big cracks or there's big rocks, you want to make sure that you clean that up. If there's big cracks, sometimes you need to put down like a street sign or something to skate over, or you'll get cut up in the cracks. So you always want to be looking out for those things to make sure that the spot is safe enough to skate. After you do that, then I like to just kind of get a feel for the size of the gap and kind of gauge based off of my skill level what trick I think would be best for it. And the reason why this spot is a little bit tricky is because there's not much run up right above the area. You kind of have to come from the street and get a lot of speed, so it's a little bit tricky, and there's also traffic, so you got to look out for that. And a big disclaimer, I should have said it right in the beginning, street skating is usually illegal. Because you're skating on someone's private property most of the time, so please keep that in mind. Practice safe judgment, practice personal safety, wear whatever gear you feel most comfortable wearing, wear the proper wheels if you need soft wheels for a really rough surface, or hard wheels to make it more grindable. And if anyone approaches you about skating the spot and they don't want you to skate it because it's their property, or the police come and they don't want you to skate it, please respect them and just move on. Let's not cause any issues so that everyone can keep skating safely. So yeah, so if you come across a staircase or a gap that's flat to flat, that can sometimes be a skatable obstacle. So that was spot number one, and conveniently, spot number two is just right across the street. So we're gonna head on over there and I'll show you what I'm looking at. We call this one the 3-stair. It's a somewhat popular spot to skate here in Joliet, Illinois. You can see it's already been waxed. If a spot already has skate wax on it, 9 times out of 10 it's probably going to be skatable, unless it's been skated so much that it's totally falling apart. But this is still in pretty good shape. So the most important time you want to bring skate wax is when you're skating the real street, because when you have real cement like this, wax will get in all those crevices or the rocky bits and make it more skatable. And another thing, when you're skating street obstacles, you can really be as creative as you want to be. So for this, there's several things you can do. You can jump on top, jump off. You could do grinds on the edge where it's wax. You can do toe stop slides. Really, the creativity is all up to you, and what you want to do can be somewhat endless. But I definitely want to test it first to make sure that it's waxed enough. I'm not going to get stuck and get hurt. But if it feels like it's good to go, then I'm just going to put in a few grinds and see what happens. Another thing, which I kind of already said it, but always be aware of your surroundings. If there's traffic in the area that you're skating, you want to make sure that you're paying attention. I always try to skate street with at least one friend so we can watch out for each other, and it's just safer with numbers, you know. But yeah, so that last spot we were at had a stop sign right there, so there was cars often stopped there. So you always want to pay attention to those things and make sure you're skating as safely as possible. So this is spot number 3. Obviously, it's a rail or several rails. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different options of rails. They all vary in height because the ground is uneven here, and some of them are farther into the mulch, so they require a bigger jump onto the rail, which is an added obstacle. You just gotta kind of find the one that is most comfortable for you to skate. But if you find a rail in your area, there's a few things that I usually kind of go by when I find a rail. With rails especially, they are one of the scariest obstacles for me to skate. So I like to gauge the height and the shape of it and everything. So these rails are a basic round rail. Because you have to gap over the mulch to get onto them, and because some of them are taller, these are a little bit scarier to skate than they look. I like to gauge based off my knees. So things that are about knee height or just a little bit taller, I know that I can jump onto that. But since I have to gap over mulch to get onto it, it's probably going to be something that I do a more basic trick or easier trick for me to do than something really technical. Whereas one of the shorter rails might be the better option for me to get technical on it because it's a bit shorter to jump on and I don't have to gap as far over the mulch. So this one's height is definitely shorter. It's below my knee, and you can see the gap is significantly thinner. But you always want to make sure, put a foot up there, give it a few slidey guys. It's super slick. So rails are one of the easiest things to slip out of because they can get too slick or our feet can get in the wrong positioning and they go out from underneath us. So always test for wax on rails before you skate them. This spot is also a super low kick out spot. And what that means is, like, some spots you'll only get a couple tries before you get kicked out. Some spots you show up and they're already kicking you out of the spot before you put your skates on. And then there's other spots where you never, ever, ever get kicked out, and this is definitely one of them. So the next spot we actually have to drive to, but it's like a 2-minute drive. So we're gonna get in the car, go to the next spot, and do some more fun stuff. This next spot, you may have seen me skate already in a Phantom promo. It's a really pretty spot. I like it aesthetically very much. Sometimes when you're street skating, it's not just about the tricks or how gnarly you can make things, but sometimes it's just about what looks pretty or what is going to be enjoyable or pleasing to the eye for the viewer. Is this the church right here?
Yeah, that's the church.
This is perfect time to drive past it. Okay, so we're coming up to, no, they tore it down.
I was gonna say, dude.
This used to be a dream spot for me. It was flat up there, and I always wanted to gap off it, but it would be like the tallest gap I've ever done. But they ripped it out. Lacing up to go to this next spot. This spot is definitely a low kick out spot again, which is awesome. But you can see behind me, there's some fun stuff to look at. Spots by the water can always be really cool based on the way you film it. And the spot is these ledges. They're already waxed because I waxed it myself the last time I was here. Sometimes the bricks can be sticking up in different levels, making it pretty hard to skate, but this one's not so bad, so it's definitely still skatable. So you can see this one is waxed because it kind of looks like it's like wet or oily, and you can see a little bit of the color of the wax on the corner here. This ledge is not waxed, and you can tell there's not wax filling all those little crevices in between the pebbles. So this is definitely not waxed. Would be very difficult to skate, but it's still possible if you took like a rub brick to it or a bunch of wax or both. But just as the way it is now, not skatable. We got the wax that we so desperately need, so we're gonna wax this. I'm getting stuck like on the top because I'm getting wheel bite, which is when your wheels hit too much of the surface and slow you down. So that's mostly where I'm gonna be waxing this. All right, so I'm gonna warm up with just a couple of my go-to tricks, and then once I feel like I'm good with those, I'm gonna try to do something that's a little bit more difficult. And Kyle's gonna session with me, so you might see him jump on a couple times. There she is. Premium. All right, so this is our last spot across from the Rialto Theater in Joliet, Illinois. This is a really fun spot because you can get super creative. There's a 3-stair on the other side, a 3-stair here, a 6-stair over here. There's also this waxed stair that you can grind and jump off. There's another ledge right there you can wax. There's a mini stair set on the other side you can jump, or a wall ride or whatever. And also there's these wide blocks here that you can do some fun nifty footwork on if you wanted to. So I really like skating this one because it's fun and you can just mess around and have a good time. But I'll do some other fun stuff just to give you an idea of what could be done here. Again, a few things to look out for is what's waxed, what needs wax, how the ground feels. Do you got to be mindful of where you're rolling over? Do you need to hop over some cracks? How's your run up? How's your landing? All that good stuff. Well, that is it. That sums up this series of Welcome to the Streets with Goolie. Thank you so much for watching. I hope something in this series gave you the confidence to try street obstacles at the skate park or even in the real street.